What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Itz Gametime podcast. This is episode number 44. My name is Jet, and with me, as always, is my co-host Eric. Eric, how you doing today?
Episode 44 of the Hank Aaron episode, the big Hanky episode, the true home run letter episode. Or you can put a little asterisk next to Mr. Barry Bonds' number. But to Hank Aaron, the man that broke Ruth's record, that probably many before his time thought was unbreakable. Just like probably Lou Gehrig's Iron Man record of consecutive games before Cal Ripken. No one expected it to be broken at all.
No, and obviously that record ended up getting broken. Maybe you can argue some of that record being broken was due to some cheating involved, obviously with Barry Bonds. But Hank Aaron, one of the best baseball players we've ever seen in the game. He paved the way for many young players, especially he left a lasting legacy, not only the Atlanta Braves organization, but all of baseball as well. So we're honoring Hank Aaron with representing this episode of the It's Game Time podcast.
Oh, absolutely. And it's going to be probably a shorter episode. It's midterm week for us. And then there's not much going on in sports right now because mainly there's usually the league that just starts up around this time. Well, it just canceled the beginning of its season. The first two series, the MLB and the MLPA could not agree to a collective bargaining agreement, the CBA. So the lockout continues. We'll see what happens. The first two series of the season have officially been canceled by Rob Manfred, who gave a very, I wouldn't want to say interesting, maybe more questionable press conference, in which then the PA followed up. I watched the Rob Manfred press conference. Jet got a little bit of the PA conference before the MLB Network and ESPN cut them out.
Yeah, no, I was only able to see so much of that press conference because the MLB Network and ESPN decided to cut away from that very important press conference while they were in the middle of that. Obviously, very, very interesting there, especially on the MLB networks, and considering obviously the MLB owns them, you kind of, talk about the motives behind that. But going back to Rob Manfred, first of all, even before the press conference, I saw a tweet. Someone tweeted out a picture of Rob Manfred practicing his golf swing during between a break while both sides were discussing in their individual rooms. That just shows you right there the state of Rob Manfred as commissioner of baseball and the state of the MLB right now. Just basically, they don't care about a season being played. They care about being as gritty as possible and trying to get as much of what they want, rather than trying to compromise and get baseball back, not only for the players but for the fans as well.
Yeah, he said number one priority is the fans. If it was the fans, you would have started this negotiation 43 days before you actually started the negotiations. Why is it when you announce that lockout at the very beginning of the season, which you, Mr. Manfred, made, not the players, you did, and you represent the owners, essentially. I mean, he does, without a doubt. He doesn't hell no, he doesn't represent the goddamn players. No. Doesn't give a shit about them at all.
The problem with this is Rob Manfred's basically being used as a puppet by the 30 owners of baseball, just because whatever they says goes, because they have they even though Rob Manfred does have the authority over them, they kind of have the authority over him because they have the big bucks, they have the ability, they have the spending power, they control what's going on. So even with Rob Manfred potentially wanting to come to an agreement, he's not going to do so unless the owners get what they want.
I know it's so. Did you know every baseball commissioner is in the Hall of Fame?
Really?
I believe so.
Well, that streak is coming to an end now.
Uh, I will say it's good to see that the media is not really siding with the owners. The last big disagreement between the players and the owners was back in 94, where there wasn't social media. The players didn't have a way to voice their own opinions and voice what's actually going on. So the owners were able to have the public side with them because they were the only ones. But now, I mean, Rob Manfred said that this league has been losing money for the past 5 years. I'm sorry, but the pandemic started in 2020.
We're in 2022, so with that math, that was only 2 years ago. I don't know where the other three are coming from.
I don't know. And I remember I saw a tweet either by John Boy or by Jeff Passan saying like in 2019, the league, the organization grew $11 billion. He's just him and the owners are just bold-faced lying to the fans. Like bold-faced, knowingly lying, knowingly misleading the fans and the media and thinking we're not going to find out.
And the biggest issue I have in all of this is the fact that, yeah, we know that guys like the Mookie Bettses and the Cody Bellingers, all these guys that are, making already the big bucks, established in the big leagues, they're not really the ones that are trying to get anything resolved in regards to making sure that, in regards to player pay. It's more those guys at the end of the bench, that the last men on the active roster. It's more about compromising on a deal that benefits them, because when you look at some of whether it's guys that are up and down between the majors and the minors, some of these guys are relying on their paychecks during spring training, during the however many weeks in an MLB season. And unfortunately, the owners and Rob Manfred are willing to be able to take away guys that are trying to make a living by playing the game of baseball, let alone all of these spring training facilities rely on the revenue that comes in through the spring training games. These areas benefit from the tourism, that people come into Arizona, they go to Florida, they get to go see their teams while, the weather in their home states may not be great. They come down to see their teams play before the regular season gets started, because who knows, they may not get to see their team play live, and this is a great experience for them. So all of these things impacting the fans and players, it's a terrible look for baseball right now.
It's awful. You talked about how this is more for the younger players. This isn't for the big guys. I mean, it's not. They're getting to get paid and stuff. I mean, for that, if you want to talk about bigger guys, it's more like team control. How long they're being controlled for 7 years at the moment. You're telling me that Aaron Judge, let's say Juan Soto, is being team controlled until they're 28, around that range, 26 to 28 years old?
That's ridiculous.
It's because then they have maybe, let's say, 4 more great potential MVP seasons in their bag before then they plateau and start to decline. You want to see these players hit free agency when they're 25 or like 24 to that 27 range, because the great players are getting younger and younger and younger. They're coming into the league more young. I mean, you can see it with Wander Franco right now. Is he even 20 years old?
I don't think so. I think he might. I'm pretty sure he was born in he might be over 20. I think he was born in 2001. So he's probably.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he can legally have a sip of alcohol. But he's not gonna. He's gonna be on team control until he's 26, and he's in the big leagues now.
And then that's the thing. I don't think the MLB owners and Rob Manfred understand this. They're going from the more traditional sense of baseball, where young guys weren't always performing at the level they're playing at now, but times are changing, and they got to start getting used to where we are headed in the game of baseball. And we're going to only see more and more young players start to perform at higher levels. So by decreasing the amount of years that it takes for a player to become free agency, it's going to benefit the game as a whole, because the players, those younger players, if they're performing at higher levels, they deserve to go to free agency. If they're not happy with the team they want, they deserve to get that money that they've, earned. And that this is something that that really needs to get compromised, and I hope it does, because the players, especially those younger ones, deserve it.
I mean, Anthony Rizzo, right when the news came out that games are being canceled, it passed the deadline, which first off, let's say this, that deadline was fake. That was always a fake deadline. It was all everyone in the media knew it was completely fake deadline because they just wanted to try and pin it. They wanted to do that last second bullshit proposal to the PA and then try to pin it on the PA is like, oh God, look, guys, we tried to get a deal done right before the deadline, but the PA didn't accept it. Get out of here. It was a fake deadline that you were just trying. It was just a scheme that you were trying to play out, and it didn't work. It didn't work. No one caught on. No one bought it.
They were trying to get the players to budge, and they're not going to budge. They're not stupid. These guys are intelligent guys, whether it's, from Tony Clark all the way down to the player reps that were at the player conference, guys like Max Scherzer, guys like Noah Syndergaard. These guys have been around the game before. They know some of the corruption that goes on with Rob Manfred and the owners, and they're not going to just, give in just because they want to play. And obviously they want to play, but they want to play under the right conditions. And by Rob Manfred setting that deadline and threatening to cancel games, let him cancel games. I mean, why not boycott? We're seeing time and time again, whether it's at any level, you can see at the college level, things like boycotting intramural sports all the way to the MLB, boycotting baseball. You see it everywhere. And I don't blame the players one bit for just standing their ground and hoping that they get what they want. And if it takes the whole year of canceling games to get what they want, so be it. It's going to suck for the fans, but if something comes out of this at the end, then it will all be worth it.
Yeah. Anthony Rizzo sent this tweet out. He said, "To the fans, we will miss you most. To the younger generation of baseball players, this is for you." It sums it up perfectly. This is for the younger generations. I mean, that's, I think, the main thing of how the players are staying united is we're not doing this for us, guys. This is not really for us. I mean, we are either have gotten paid already or we're about to get paid. This is not for us. This is for because the game goes on way past our time. I mean, we may be remembered as part of the game, but the game is eternal compared to us. So it's just, when do you think this is going to get done?
Obviously we're all hoping it gets done sooner rather than later. I saw a tweet from Jeff Passan today saying that it's possible that a deal can be, done in the next week. I just do not see that happening. I just think both sides are still way too far apart. I could definitely see games being played this year, but I think we're looking at less than probably close to half, maybe even more of the games being canceled. So I think we're looking at potentially closer to a pandemic 2020 season where we only saw 60 games, and obviously not ideal, but I think some baseball is better than no baseball. What do you think?
Now that we've passed this bullshit deadline, the ruse deadline, the liars deadline, I think it's going to be a cold spring. Forget cold winter. We already had that. The groundhog did not see its shadow, or did see its shadow, whichever way it goes. Winter is continuing on. This cold winter is going to be moving along because I don't think anything's going to be done, because guess what? The deadline's passed now. So now both sides are going to, we're digging in and we're going to wait it out. We're going to see which one balks first. Which one makes the first sacrifice? And
I think it might be the players that end up sacrificing a little. I just have a feeling that they're going to get to a point where the owners are going to budge a little bit, and it's going to get to a point where I believe that the players will take what the owners are giving them, even if it's not what they really want. I think if they budge a little bit more, I think they're going to have to settle at one point or another, because some of these guys are living off of these paychecks, and they're going to have to get back to it sooner rather than later.
I get that, but I'm feeling a strong sense in this PA. I think they're gonna make this thing run long. They are going to get what they are asking for. They may not, obviously, you can't get everything, but because Rob Manfred also stated in his press conference that now with the cancellation of games, these players are not going to get full compensation for those games. So now the PA is going to probably be saying, well, all right, you're not going to give us full compensation for the season, and you guys aren't getting expanded playoffs to make up for that that missed out revenue.
Right.
We're not giving that up. If you're not giving us full compensation, I'm sorry, but we're not budging on. And that's the top thing I think the owners want is expanded playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I know there were talks about a 12-team playoff instead of the 14-team playoff that we talked about in a prior episode, but now it's like I'm feeling like the players I feel like the players know the public's on their side this time around, and I think that's what's going to keep them going. Yeah. Unless you're a dumb idiot on Twitter that doesn't use your real name on your handle and just doesn't even have a profile picture, and you want to say like, why are the millionaires arguing with the billionaires? Just take the money, just take the deal. Like, shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah, definitely some burner accounts out there. Definitely, definitely stuff like that. But I will say, in regards to the player side, this is definitely a strong group of player representatives that they have at the forefront of this whole negotiation process. From what I heard, I saw in a tweet that Max Scherzer is a very, very strong negotiator, and having someone like him is crucial to the players getting what they want.
I got something. So I was watching Talking Baseball by John Boy Media, and it was right after, it was Monday, and right before the deadline hit on Tuesday, when the extended fake deadline hit, it's when Derek Jeter left the Marlins organization. So we can talk about that too. But they were saying, what if Jeter just shows up to the meetings? That's powerful.
That would be, oh God, that would be great. Yeah.
Jeets just get in there and you're like, hey, come on, guys. I've worked both sides now. All right. I've worked the front office. I've dealt with owners, and then I'm a player. All right. That would have been powerful.
I'm wondering if this whole thing has something to do with why he stepped down. I know from what I've heard, his vision for the future for the Marlins didn't line up with what the rest of the organization had. But I'm wondering if, because obviously, Jeter was an owner, like he had a minority stake in the Marlins, and he's part of that stereotypical ownership group that we're talking about, that's greedy and whatnot. I wonder if that had something to do with Jeter stepping down.
Quite possibly. I mean, God, what if he just shows up? He just takes control, and he's like, "All right, what do you guys want? I'll get it for you." He's the one that's walking across the minor league stadium trying to make the deals. Maybe what if he's just in the back room practicing his golf swing? Actually, him and Manfred go on the course, and whoever has the better score on the back nine, they get the better side of the deal.
That would be something. Oh my God. Imagine that. Imagine the deal came down to a round of golf.
I'm taking Jeets
over Manfred. I'm taking him too. I was watching him practice between meetings. It does not even look like he should even be practicing because his game's going nowhere. So
oh no, he's definitely has like 5 mulligans in his game.
Yeah.
He has so many do-overs.
That just shows you right there. Like he's not thinking anything about like getting the season started. He's thinking he knew there wasn't going to be a deal done. He's ready to go back golfing now. Like he's in Florida right now. Go to any course you want. He's going to have all season. Like if the season doesn't happen, like it's ridiculous.
You may see him at Top Golf tomorrow night.
Maybe that would be something if he's at Top Golf instead of in the negotiation room. But wouldn't be surprised. I have to be honest. After what I've seen, especially him laughing in the press conference, like this is something that's requires humor. This is very serious stuff and regarding players' livelihood. Like I know he's doing very good financially, but and I know him and his guys are doing good, but not everyone else.
not everyone else. How long you think he's gonna last? Let's be realistic, all right? I mean, he's just not good at the
But
podium.
doesn't the owners, don't they have to vote him out though?
Yeah, but like he is not a good representation for the owners, we'll be honest, all right? Like he's just not good at the podium.
But maybe the owners look at it like they could just control his every move. So why not have someone you could just have on like a puppet? Like they can easily tell him what to do and tell him what to say.
But I mean, if you're gonna have a puppet, like have a good quality puppet. This man he's acting out here like a puppet from the 1930s, man. Damn, I mean, golly, he's run down.
Yeah.
He's using like negotiation tactics from like the 1970s.
I know.
Golly, like, I mean, for the owners, don't you want a strong representative?
Yeah, if only you could replicate Adam Silver and have another Adam Silver in the MLB, that's ideal right there.
Yeah, but then I mean, I wouldn't mind Adam Silver because he's always for the players. So
I mean, can we say that Roger Goodell would be better than Rob Manfred if he was the commissioner of baseball right now?
I haven't heard much news about the NFL having any type of CBA disagreements.
No, not at all. Wow, I mean, it's amazing where we are today. That we're hoping that Roger Goodell takes over for the MLB too.
Bring in the NHL guy.
Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not just have the other three major sports commissioners just partner up and just take over the MLB too as a side job?
Who's the MLS commish?
It doesn't matter. He's probably better than Rob Manfred. So,
I mean, like, what are we thinking? Like 3 more years of Manfred?
I think it's whatever ends up happening with this year. I think it's going to be telling in how many more years he has left. I think if he continues to dig himself a deeper hole, I think we're looking at less than 3 years. But if they eventually come to an agreement, obviously both the other side's not going to still be happy with Manfred, but I think it's going to be hard to see him leave unless there's I know there's reasons, but like a big reason that says, you know what, that's enough, time to get you out of here. But
how does the PA not have a voice in who the commissioner is?
I know, that's so stupid. It is. They're the ones like I get like, the teams, obviously the owners need their voice, but the players, the owners aren't anything without the players. So how could they be making those decisions?
Exactly. I mean, the owners may provide the location, the storefront, if you want to say, the marketing, all that. But if you don't have the product or the players per se, there's nothing to market. There's nothing to sell in your store.
Without the product, you just got dust piling up all over those stadiums, and you got nothing to show for except wasted location with money going out of the drain for no reason. This inventory is bringing you in the money.
Exactly. Like, have fun just wasting an electricity bill on just security lights, because damn, it's not like the field lights are going to be turned on anytime soon. Oh my God, it's so dumb. It's just dumb. Like, why not even start this a year ago? You can start this a year ago, guys. It's a 4 to 5 year agreement. You can start it earlier.
I just don't get why the negotiations started really ramping up a week prior to the deadline. 10, yeah, like it's the lockout started in December, beginning of December, correct?
Yeah, there was 43 days of dead.
Each one of those days could have been a little, even if it was a little step forward into potentially getting to this deadline and then having an agreement done. Like, they had all this time. Wouldn't have been any other issues with the season, but for some reason, Manfred must have had a golf event to go to, obviously, because he must have been touring courses around the country. And now he's upset with his game, so now he wants to go on another tour around the country. So,
I mean, what was that about? Like he was bragging about, oh, we had a 17-hour negotiation work day. You didn't get anything done. What is there to brag? You didn't get anything done. There's nothing to brag about. I don't give a damn if you did 17 hours of negotiations. If there's nothing to show for it, there's nothing to brag about. You know what you could have done? A normal 8-hour workday over the span of like 3
Exactly.
freaking weeks.
Yeah. Just the little stuff that they could have come up with to get closer, that would have all added up into getting to a final agreement, and then none of this would have happened.
Like, goddamn, you could have met for like 2 hours each day over the 43-day period. Like, it's not hard. I get, like, I know we also talked about how, like, prior to this, like, 10-day, like, hardship week that owners had, that there was only a 15-minute meeting. Obviously now it's like they said during that 15-minute meeting, they just said shit just to not have the meeting. They were just saying shit just to not have the meeting because obviously they are capable. They are capable of negotiations for 10 plus hours. So that 15-minute little spurt was definitely, it was just stuff said to be like, all right, just to be like, we tried.
It's for the optics. It's to show the public that there was a meeting, but obviously we're not idiots. We know in a 15-minute meeting, that's just saying hi, maybe cursing him out a little bit, and then walking out. There was nothing to that 15-minute meeting.
I think we like broke it down to like actually like maybe like 5 to 7 minutes of like cussing or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Take out the greetings, the coming in, and then the departure time. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is hurting young, like, new fans. This is, I mean,
it's tarnishing the game overall. Like, obviously it's hard for someone that wants to get into baseball to feel like they should want to watch baseball. Like, what reason is anybody, whether it's mainly in the ownership group in Manfred, what is giving them a reason to want to watch baseball? Especially, you can't even watch baseball even if you wanted to. So unless you want to watch some highlights, I mean, that's
yeah, that's a whole nother. Maybe that should be in the CBA about the freaking blackout issue.
Yeah,
you're in St. Louis. Too bad you can't watch the Cardinals face the Cubs. Go to the game, even though the tickets cost $75 and the beers also cost $75.
Yeah, it's I don't even know. It's frustrating. It really is, but. And it's affecting the employment industry, the employment part of baseball as well. Not to bring any personal stuff into this, but people out there looking for jobs in the baseball industry, and that's on a hold as well. And it's frustrating for those out there that are looking, I'm sure.
I definitely feel like it is. I mean, God, just everything's on hold, man. Like, give me a month when you think it's going to start. Last question.
I think we start in May.
So March was supposed to be opening day, like late March, right?
Right.
March, April, May. I think we have still like 2 months of deadness.
Well, the thing is, like, the season will start in May, but we still need a month of spring training before that.
So like you're thinking about a month and a half of dead time then.
Yeah, I do.
I'm thinking like end of May, maybe. I think this is gonna be ugly. I think spring training starts end of April, beginning of May time.
But we both agree that there will be games played though this year, correct?
Yes. I can't. You know I'm a sicko, so I
know you are.
I'm kind of like a part. Like, of course I want games. But I'm all like the sicko side of me is like, what if there just wasn't games?
Yeah, just stick it to them a little more. Like, we don't need games. Let's want them to get what they want.
Go to Japan, play in the Japanese league, the Korean league. Go play over there. Did you see Harper posted something about that?
No, what did he post?
He I forgot, like, one of the Japan, I think in the Japanese league, one of the teams is like, hey, y'all looking for any outfielders or something like that?
I mean, but why not? Why not look into those opportunities? Like,
or any of the leagues down in like Central South America.
Yeah. Anything just to keep playing. I mean, I heard also something about, I heard that the MLBPA is like getting together like a facility where all the players can, practice and train until like the spring training gets underway. Maybe they start televising scrimmages they have or inter squads. That would be something to
it would be like when the NBA they had a lockout a while ago and they played in the Drew League.
Yeah, that's right.
That would be cool.
Why not give us something? If you're not gonna let us watch games freely and make us spend all this money to go to games, give us something that's entertainment. Until then, we have to start paying $75 for drinks and food and have to go to the game. Tickets. Yeah.
Oh, and don't forget about transportation either.
Oh, right.
Yeah, because like in Tampa, it's not like you have to drive 45 minutes to go and see a Rays game.
Yeah. It's lot of issues that need to be resolved. That's for sure. And this is only the surface. We could start talking about other things too.
I know.
It's just, the list goes on.
I know. Something happening later when this episode comes out is the draft combine, in which I talked about it in my little minute snippet this week, where I said it's time for all the QB prospects to be overrated because they can throw to a wide open wide receiver with no defender tracking them down or no defender rushing at the quarterback. How are we feeling about the draft this year? Is it worth watching, you think?
The draft is going to have a lot of really good players. It's just not going to be, you're not going to see any of that elite talent come out of it. I don't think. I mean, that's just what I've heard. Obviously, you never know. Players come out of nowhere, but it's really hard to say. Like guys we think coming into the league, we think they're not going to be great, and then they wound up being superstars. So it's while the early indications are that it's not going to be a great draft, I still think there's cause for some hope potentially with this class.
There's hope. It's just nothing like it's nothing like I don't even feel the need to watch the combine. What, 40 times? I don't know of anybody that's like projected to get a 4.2.
That's the thing, but even like watching the combine, like you can watch someone like a John Ross who set the record for a 40 time. He's nowhere to be found in the NFL. So even like getting these record breaking performances and notable performances in the combine, sometimes they amount to nothing. So go watch something more entertaining this week.
Yeah, like baseball, college baseball.
College.
Oh, can we talk about that NC State freshman?
Tommy, what's his name? Tommy something.
I think I know. Like, what's his nickname? Tommy Hacks or whatever.
Hold on, let me see.
Tommy Tanks. That's
Tommy Tanks. His real name is Tommy White. Tommy Tanks. Yeah, that's
the freshman in the first 8 games hit 9 home runs.
It's ridiculous. It really is. Oh my! When I saw that, like, for one, is a freshman. I mean, that's insane to think about.
Did you see that Ole Miss player that hit a home run, but he's also the D tackle for all the Ole Miss football team?
Really?
I think he weighs 360. He's a good but he doesn't look 360. Like he's muscle 360.
I see that. Taiwan Malone. He's now cranking bombs for the Rebels baseball team. Interesting.
Yeah, D tackle for the school also. I mean, oh my gosh.
I'm looking at the video right now, and that's what you like to see. You like to see these. You're not gonna probably see this again with a D tackle hitting a home run.
Okay, he's 315 still. 315 D tackle.
Number 3 team in the nation too.
Yeah. Texas is taking over, man. Texas is just
jeez.
UVA represent 18th and tied for 18th.
There we go.
There we go.
Right. Wow. Remember the name in case you see him in the MLB. Taiwan Malone. Remember the name.
Or the NFL.
Or honestly, is this the next Bo Jackson? Is this what I'm seeing?
Possibly.
Different frame, obviously, but we'll never know. But...
Oh my gosh!
Right?
Yeah, I mean, this was.
It worked. We got what we needed to say off our chest about the lockout. That was the main thing.
Formula One's about to start back up.
Now's the time we could cut the episode off. When you're editing it later, cut it off right before that.
There's actually a driver that's being banned from a Grand Prix.
Really? For what?
Nikita Mazepin. He's a Russian driver, and he
Ah,
got banned. He would not be allowed to participate in the British Grand Prix. There were also talks that he was going to be banned just by the FIA, which is the governing body of Formula One in total, but they did not. So the British Grand Prix took it upon themselves to ban him from the event as a result of the conflict between Russia and Ukraine.
okay, interesting.
So yeah, so now some faces banned. Yep. Yeah, so they announced that today. But the first race is the 20th, which is only 18 days away.
Circling my calendar right now.
Oh,
Okay.
please do. It's the Bahrain Grand Prix.
All right.
Oh, big.
I'm excited. Where are we watching it? Where are we watching it?
What time is it? Well, if you want to come over here. Oh, it's actually not that bad. It's at 11 a.m.
I'll be there. No worries at all. I'll be over.
March Madness.
Yeah, that'll be something. Well, after we take a little break, which will be our first break in ever, I think. Yeah, ever. We're taking a little 1 week hiatus. Have other opportunities on the rise. So
we have to celebrate an accomplishment that we had the other night.
Yeah, more than one, honestly.
Yeah. So that I don't. When does that start?
Well, conference tournaments already started. So
really,
I believe March Madness. I think Selection Sunday should be on the 13th. I believe.
Oh yeah. Okay, hold up. I'm just looking at the tournament. Give me a second. Yeah, the men's basketball championship first four is Tuesday, March 15th.
So we'll have a full release of our predictions of the bracket on our next episode because that's when it'll be.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so stay tuned for that, everybody.
I know.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah.
So there's some stuff going on. Maybe not this episode, but plenty of stuff to be talked about in future episodes.
Yeah, MLB. I mean, not the MLB. The NBA is just playing regular season games. It's kind of like that. Like, can the season be over yet? But we're not close to that yet.
Yeah. No. I mean,
it's just like we're at the second half now, but we're not at the halfway point of the second half.
Right.
To where then that's where you're like, oh shit, now seeding matters.
Yeah, I mean I was just looking at the Heat just lost on a buzzer beater to the Bucks.
Who hit it?
Drew Holiday hit a game-winning buzzer beater.
Bet Middleton. I was gonna bet
Drew Holiday. Rough loss for the Heat. They were up pretty much the whole game. And I think it's a good time to stop this episode.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening. And if you are on YouTube, for watching, we appreciate it so much. We'll see you guys not next week, the following week, to give our March Madness predictions. Peace out, y'all.